It is a Tuesday. It is about 9:45, mid-morning. These are jellyfish. I think they're moon jellyfish. Let's see. Yeah, live moon jellyfish cam. I just kind of was going through the wildlife cameras before we do weather and just thinking how awesome they are. And then I put this on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm super relaxed. I'm super relaxed. It's awesome, right? There's music that plays with this, but I could, here, listen. I think I can get it to go. Hang on. No, I can't. Don't even mess with it. Anyway, so today's an interesting day. I've got weather to talk about that includes a warm-up for tomorrow, Wednesday, a little bit into Thursday, and then a kind of a roller coaster, a weather roller coaster. No big heat, no big cold, more of the same. A little bit of smoke in the atmosphere. There's no smoke advisories for us, but there are some air quality issues in parts of the country. We'll talk about that heat dome in the east, and we'll look at the surf, and we'll look at some live cameras. And this morning, I'm actually kind of in a different space, only because I'm doing my good friend and colleague, Dennis Richmond, who you may know or may not know, but he is an iconic TV broadcaster, newsman, and just he was awesome. I mean, he was awesome. And I'm going to speak, which is kind of intimidating because I'm following Willie Brown. It's like Willie Brown, the orator, right? The politician and the mayor Willie Brown, San Francisco. So I'm kind of in an interesting spot because it's like, kind of sad, but also honored to be speaking. But I just want to do Dennis right. I just want to do Dennis right. He was awesome. I mean, he really was. He was. I don't know if you didn't, you just Google Dennis Richman, African American man, older than me. So he was around for the late 50s, 60s civil rights movement, just everything. I mean, he was a part of it. He was in the military. He was a paratrooper in the Army. He was just. It's hard to explain. He was really an interesting man, but he cared a lot about the news. And one of the things, this is what I would say to you. One of the things that, it's like the jellyfish are making me talk. One of the things that he did, and nobody does anymore, is he didn't raise an eyebrow when he read the news. He needed 3 sources before he'd go to air with a story. I mean, he was a goddamn newsman. And it's so sorely missed right now. And he would be mortified at the state of local television right now because it's not anybody's fault. It's just the way the media is with the internet. But he was the opposite. He was Walter Cronkite, but an African-American man. And at the time, I think he was probably a TV station. The TV station was the most watched TV station in the country, Channel 2, the station I came from. We were the highest rated. We had Super Bowl ratings every night for decades, and it was under his leadership. Anyway, so I'm kind of in an interesting spot there, but yeah. So okay, so here's the national map. Here's some low pressure up here, bit of a ridge building in here. Just see how it's kind of flatlining. So you got probably let's see, just sort of like this. Sort of like this, right? So it's progressing. Things are moving. And this low that was here is now moving out. This kind of weaker jet stream high is starting to pump up a little bit for today, a little warmer. And tomorrow, probably the warmest day of the week. And then it'll drop back down again. And then we got some smoke to talk about. Let's see. I think I can pick that out as well. Here we go. Oh, and thanks for all the new subscribers, too. A lot of new subscribers. Lots of nice comments. So I appreciate you guys. Super fun. And I enjoy it. I'm not trying to make money here. I don't care. I just want you guys to understand the maps. I want you to not be captured by people who say they know the weather that don't know the weather. You can learn it yourself. You don't need me. You don't need any of us. You can go to this visible satellite, throw a loop on it, see the smoke that's coming in. There's a little smoke in the area. There's no advisories, but we'll look at the smoke. There's some smoke wrapped up in this low that's moving on. You can see that it's foggy from Crescent City all the way down the coast. Inversion's back. Winds have died down. San Diego getting a little bit better weather down there. The eddy that it was set up is, it looks like it's not as prolific or not near as prolific, and that's because you're not seeing big winds. And just a cool feature. Look at that. Isn't that an interesting feature? Kind of the fog being sort of just the general northwest flow, but interesting how the fog is kind of getting squeegeed up against the coastline and sticking. That's awesome. So there's the smoke. So yeah, this is all stuff. I mean, you know, you may not want to do this, you know, and understand it yourself, but it helps to understand, because I don't think this is the smoke forecast. This is for this afternoon, and it looks daunting. I think I can put a loop on it. It looks daunting, but what it is it's high upper level smoke. We don't really have a lot of fires close to us right now, so we're not seeing lower level smoke. Most of the fires are out and towards Utah, some in Oregon, but the areas here, this is watchduty.org. This was our big fire in the area, but you see the kind of the grays around the fire. That's indicating a certain amount of containment. And when you see the fire grayed out, right, that means the fire's out. I'll tell you what, watchduty.org, they load up quick. Like it's current information, about as current as you can get. And these RXs are prescribed burns, which I love seeing prescribed burns. I really do, because it means people are managing the forest, which is something that is very much needed in California. This is PurpleAir. We're still kind of sticking with the air quality theme. Temperatures today are going to generally be in the 80s. You can see there's a bunch of smoke up in Oregon. So the air quality, yellow is not horrible, but when you start going orange and red, then you're getting into more particulate matter than is healthy for most groups. Southern California, you've got a little bit of air quality issue down here, picking up some smoke. I did see that on the satellite loop. You've got a bunch of air quality issues. This is where all the heat is out in the nation's eastern section. And that's going to continue. The heat wave going to die down in a couple days, but it is still hot, and that's trapping all that kind of ooky air in there. Yeah, I said ooky. This is Bontempe Reservoir. I wanted to show you this because it showed yesterday. It did a nice job showing the smoke in the morning as the sun came up. That shows the fog, shows the inversion. We're looking towards the north now from Mount Tam. There's Bontempe coming out. That's a reservoir. Marin County Watershed. Hey, if you haven't spent time there, are you kidding? It's awesome. Marin County Watershed, in terms of public usage, I mean, there's argument, but that's where the mountain bike was invented. Do you know where the mountain bike was invented? And I don't care what anybody says. This is why it was invented. Because I knew some of these guys. I knew Gary Fisher and Otis Guy and Joe Breeze, and I lived in Marin forever. And when I was at Berkeley in the 70s, I went to Marin to Gary Fisher's first bike shop because I wanted to this was in 1978, I wanted to put knobby tires on my cruiser bike because this was the first mountain bikes. But anyway, they used to ride up into the hills of Marin on the fire roads, which were pretty user-friendly, to grow weed. They used to call them clunkers, not mountain bikes. And they would go and tend their weed farms. And that's sort of, that was how they were getting, because the Marin Watershed is huge. It's a great place to grow weed. It's probably, in terms of weather and climate, boom, especially that Bolinas, not that I would grow weed, but on the west slope of the Bolinas Ridge, are you kidding me? It's like built for weed. I mean, just the amount of rainfall it gets, the amount of fog, the cool, the hot. Anyway, the mountain bike, and I've heard various stories on this, but I talked to the guys. I know this is what they were doing. In the beginning, they were tending the weed crops, and you needed a bike that would get you up into the wilderness to be able to do that. And from there, mountain biking became a thing. And they'll tell you the same thing. So, and it's funny. It was fun. I was really honored. Again, I lived right over here off Fawn Drive. But I've ridden every trail in Marin 1,000 times, and I love that place. Marin County. Okay, quick story. I know I'm kind of in story mode. Lauren Bacall, famous, Humphrey Bogart. She was married to him. Very famous actress. I met her once and hung out with her once. She was at the TV station in the green room, and I used to go talk to anybody in the green room. Like, I met so many interesting people. Lauren Bacall, she was like 78, and she was beautiful. But she told me once, she said, I tell this story over and over, but she said, she asked me where I lived. And I said, well, I live in Marin County. And she goes, oh my God. Because she had lived in Paris and France, same as Paris, but she lived all over the world with Bogart. And she said, you lived in Marin. She goes, you are in the right place. Don't ever move. Marin County is the most special place on the planet Earth. Now, this is from a woman who is beyond worldly. She is. I love Lauren Bacall. I really do. Especially look at young pictures of her. She was stunning. I mean, she was beautiful when I met her too. She was kind of flirting with me too, which I was very flattered. I mean, she was like 80, but I'm like, I'm good. I'm cool with that. Lauren Bacall, 80-year Lauren Bacall. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so this is the heat advisory, heat warning. Yeah, I'm in a weird one today, huh? Here's the heat warning and heat watches, extreme heat warnings here. This is for today. And again, those populations, that's a huge percentage of the population of the country, because you've got New York included, you got Philadelphia, you've got Chicago, you've got all these areas, all the big cities, Atlanta. Everybody's got heat, and it's going to last for a couple of days. Let's take a look at that. This is that heat impacts map. Not necessarily showing temperature, but just showing heat impacts. Places, urban areas, areas that the infrastructure might be compromised. It takes into fact all sorts of metrics. But the idea is, under the gun today, all these areas, the purple areas are bad, just really hot. And then here we go to tomorrow, still bad. So that's, what is that, Wednesday. And Thursday it gets better. But Ohio Valley still stays hot Friday, Saturday. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's the model. Here's the trough. And I bet you know what's going to happen here. This is our trough here. And here we are. And you can see it lingers. And then right here on Wednesday, remember, tomorrow warms up. And that's why. I know it's so subtle. But the 5820 line, the line jet stream area, starts to pull up a little bit. And then hovers, and then kind of pulls again. So that's, kind of Wednesday and Thursday, warmest days of the week. Starts to come up here, but then you see this trough develop down here. I know, it's so subtle. You're like, whatever, Bill. It is subtle. So what I would say is we watch this same thing continue, this same pattern that we've been seeing. Lessen fire danger, better air quality, less strain on the grid, the power grid, because you're not using that much air conditioning. It's not going to be cold, but it's just not going to be any heat waves. So I'm good with it. These are the forecast highs for today. 96 in Redding, 93 in, looks like more like Fresno, 94 in Fresno, 93 in Tulare. What else I got? Oh, I'm going to the surf ranch. I was telling you guys that yesterday. It's going to be awesome. This is today. Kelly Slater Surf Ranch. I'll take pictures. I'm kind of nervous. I surfed it before. I've been there a couple times. This is tomorrow. And it's look at all heat, much hotter down in the desert Southwest. In the Central Valley, Sacramento gets back to 97. Redding back to $105. So that is on Wednesday. So Wednesday should be the hottest day of the week. Wednesday, Thursday will be the two hottest days of the week. Puffins, awesome. Yeah, I've surfed it before. It's hard. Like, I've been surfing my whole long time. And I'm an okay surfer. I think I'm awesome, but it's like you think when you think you're a really great dancer, are you, or do you think you're a really great dancer? Because surfing's dancing. But I'm going on Sunday or Monday for a couple of days, and we're staying in the Airstreams and stuff. But it's a hard wave. Like, it's hard. I'm going with a bunch of really good surfers too. But when I say hard, it's just because it's such a boxy barrel. I will, what I'm going to do? I will include a video right here. I didn't do that yesterday, but it's super boxy. And so you got to be small, and you got to have a teeny board, and you got to be able to lock in. So it's funny. I was talking to the guy who organized it. You're all really good surfers. And everybody's nervous because it's like you go to Kelly's. It's like this thing was built for the world champion. It's not like the Waco wave pool, which is kind of fun. This place is like, wow, you can get dinged up pretty good, and you can get barreled awesomely. Okay, Puffins. I just decided I like putting these in the middle because I relax more, because otherwise I get all wrapped up in the weather. This is Brooks Falls live camera. Actually, this isn't live. I cheated on this, and I moved the camera a little bit because I wanted to see a bear. There goes the bear there. They're fishing right now. The salmon you just saw a salmon jump there. The salmon are moving. This is like a baby bear. Brown bears, different than grizzly bears. Apparently, a nice woman wrote in. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. and said, well, yeah, it is awesome. But she goes, the salmon, by the time you get to September, August, July, end of July and August, she goes, it's all going off. She goes, dozens. I've seen pictures. You've seen pictures too. But the salmon really get going. The bear really get going. So that's awesome. I think that's a smaller bear. Like I know they're supposed to be super good at catching fish, but that looks hard. Like I know. I mean, that would be hard to catch a fish, even if you got claws. You got to time it out, and fish are still slippery. Okay, that is the brown bear, not a grizzly bear. This is Pier 39. I wanted to show you I don't know if it's going to fly. I wanted to show you, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Pier 39 live picture, the seals, but it's not even a live picture. But we can do that. And then we can go live to Mount Shasta. And a little bit of smoke. You can see the smoke showing up here, right? Today in Mount Shasta, you're going to be in the 70s for the most part. Tomorrow, probably in the 80s. And then on Thursday, Thursday, you'll probably be in the 80s, low 80s again. And then it wants to cool off again. Here's Whitney Portal. This is down towards the South Bishop area. This shows some clouds, some thunderstorms possible today from this moisture plume in the southern Sierra Nevada. And there's an opportunity, probably should mention that, there's an opportunity with the pattern we have pretty much each day for some type of convective weather on the west slope of the Sierra Nevada, especially south of South Lake Tahoe. My phone's going off today. But anyway, so that's going on there. And then this is Ocean Beach, which you can barely see. I want to go get a session in. You can't see it right now. It's not right. Look how small it is. Like Pleasure Point is like, oh my God, that looks painful. But I want to go get a session in before I go to the surf ranch because I haven't surfed backside. Because the backside is the gnarly one at the surf ranch. Like your front side waves are awesome, right? That's when you're kind of facing the wave. But when you go backside, it's brutal. It's brutal, especially the inside barrel. You guys, I know you a bunch of surfers out there, but it's like first time I surfed it, I was like, whatever, this is fun, it's easy. And then I realized, oh no, this isn't. This is hard. And now I'm all nervous because you can get the barrel of your life, or you can get swatted, or you can look stupid and ride way out in front of it. You can beat the wave, but the barrel's back here, and that whole intent of the wave. And the thing most people don't know, this is the 6 to 10 day outlook. I know. I don't even know if you're still here. This is 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, and it kind of came up, right? So above average precipitation. So they're anticipating some activity over the next 6 to 10 days involving some subtropical moisture, perhaps. We'll keep an eye on that. And then we can look at the temperature. Like that. And it's about near normal for us, above normal here, above normal there. Do these models make a ton of sense? Not often, but they're fun to look at. I mean, and they give you an idea what the long range models are anticipating. But what was I talking about? Oh, backside. Yeah, backside's hard at the surf ranch. And if you have ever been there, that inside barrel. So the thing about surf ranch that's funny is you don't know this either. They have like Cat 1, Cat 2, and Cat 3 waves. So you of course you get the Cat 1 because the place costs a fortune. So the Cat 1, I believe it's Cat 1, is the freaking wave. Basically this thing is a freight train on a railroad track. Feels like it's about a quarter mile long, and it runs down this track. It's a freight train, and it's got a big snowplow scoop out front, and it pushes the water. And that's where you catch it. It's right off the snowplow. And so it's pretty industrial stuff. But the wave is Cat 1 or Cat 2 or Cat 3, and they can adjust the blade, I believe, of the scoop. So a Cat 1 would have probably a more vertical wave, and then Cat 2 and 3 would be here. Cat 2 and 3 are fun. Like, it's awesome. Like, if I had my way, I go, let's do some Cat 2s, which means really it's not throwing out, maybe a little cover up, right? But you're making turns. You're a hero. You're freaking Kelly Slater. When you go Cat 1, it's like, boom, 2 turns, pull in. Maybe come out. Boom, 2 turns, pull in. That's it for a quarter mile because you're going like a bat out of hell. Okay. So yeah, maybe I'm going to see if I can dig that video up. Okay. Wish me luck today. Dennis was awesome. He was really an awesome person, and I miss him. a lot, but he's awesome. Okay. Yeah, kind of weird one today. You can, thanks for subscribing, by the way. That was awesome. See ya.